5 on your side at 10 starts now.
Two teenagers now charged in a 19-year-old's murder.
That's when I found him on the ground, right around the corner from my house, with gunshot wounds.
Tonight, a mother shares her grief only with 5 on your side.
A weather impact alert tonight as the heat and humidity ramps up. I'll let you know how close we will get to 100 degrees.
The data center debate heating up in St. Charles. The open house just hours ago, opening the doors to more criticism from the community.
5 on your side starts now with a weather impact alert.
And we kick things off at 10 with a live look over downtown. We're in store for yet another heat wave. Dangerous heat and humidity as we head into the weekend. Good evening, I'm Brent Solomon. Mike Bush and Kelly Jackson have the night off. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is tracking those hot temperatures for us. Jim, tell us what we need to know.
All right, Brent. So, this summer we have not hit 100 yet, but we have had bouts of heat and humidity. And then that heat index has been over 110 with that last stretch of heat we had this past summer here. But we continue in summer and we're going to see another stretch of heat, probably a heat index as high as 107 as high pressure really builds right over the area. This is Missouri, down here is New Orleans and Louisiana. So that high goes all the way down into the Gulf. And Friday through Tuesday here, 99 to 107 is going to be that heat index. And that's just that temperature, the air temperature, which could get as high as about 98, mixed with that humidity. So hydrate and take plenty of breaks. And it's mainly the metro area that is expecting that heat advisory. But we are including now Clinton, Washington counties, and Randolph County in Illinois, and also St. Genevieve County in Missouri. So not just the metro, and it might expand even further. We'll just have to watch it. So Friday through Tuesday now is that heat and humidity, and right now we're sitting at 82 degrees. Going to see some really warm nights also. Still feels like about 86. I'll have much more on our storm chances next week coming up in a bit.
All right, Jim, we'll see you then. Head to KSDK.com for tips and resources to stay safe. Text the word HEAT to 314-425-5355. We'll send a link to your phone. Tonight, hundreds of people packing 2 separate meetings in St. Charles. One to learn more about a proposed data center. The other meeting about the EPA's work to clean up contamination. Both are in the same area of St. Charles near the Elm Point well field where the city gets its drinking water. Our Laura Bachevsky was there for both. She's live in St. Charles with the very latest on those neighbors' concerns. Fill us in, Laura.
Brent, we just got out of the EPA meeting here at the St. Charles Police Department where they held it, and it was overflowing with people, some citizens who hadn't even heard about these sites before. Officials talked about their most recent 5-year review of the Findet Corporation Superfund site, located next to the Elm Point well field where the city gets the majority of its drinking water. As I reported earlier this week, the cleanup measures have not worked as they hoped. The EPA is now in the process of working with the responsible companies to do more work on the site. Residents had an opportunity to get some of their questions answered.
The current plan right now is to not do anything with OU1 and OU2.
That is not the current plan. We are working with responsible parties to address the contamination of OU1.
So when you say address the contamination, meaning like you're going to put a remedial, and the reason I ask this question is because it's obviously it's influencing OU3, right?
Yes, right?
So if you cut off a snake's head, right?
Yeah.
So
we want an effective remediation.
And right before the EPA meeting, hundreds of people packed the Foundry Arts Center for an open house to get a closer look at a proposed data center that, if approved, would border the Findet Superfund site and the well field. Right now it's being called Project Cumulus, and we still don't know which company the data center would be for. On a fact sheet handed out tonight, a statement from the city said the city is exploring ways to use this project to bring new clean water sources to the community. This could eliminate the city's reliance on contaminated wellheads. Residents are concerned about additional contamination that could come from the plant, which would need to store 1 million gallons of diesel fuel for backup generators on site.
Most of the industry, there's never been issues out there with them because the companies that are involved in this at the hyperscale data center level, they're some of the most environmentally conscious companies in the world. They're thinking about sustainability. They're thinking about their reputation. They're thinking about having multiple layers of redundancy to end up protecting the environment.
My opinion of the data center is it doesn't belong here in our community because of a huge environmental concern with various types of pollution. And after seeing how it's affected cities such as Memphis or down in Georgia, it's just something that shouldn't be near our water supply specifically.
The upcoming the upcoming St. Charles City Council meeting will be at the St. Charles Convention Center. They've actually moved it because there's so much interest in speaking, because at 7 o'clock there's going to be a public hearing as part of this meeting that is specifically dedicated to the data center. Now, if you had any questions about the EPA's review of the Superfund site, I have ways you can reach out to the EPA on KSDK.com. Reporting live in St. Charles, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Lots of information there. Great breakdown, Laura. Right now, the entire city of St. Charles is under a boil water advisory due to a damaged pipeline. City leaders say you should boil water for at least 3 minutes. It is okay to bathe and shower. All of this is because a private contractor hit a pipeline and caused significant pressure loss. The boil advisory will be in effect until tests confirm that water is safe. The city expects an update in the next day or two, and we will keep you posted once it is lifted. New tonight, a plan to move recycling forward in St. Louis. The city is planning to move away from alley recycling. Tonight, the mayor's office presented the Board of Aldermen with a 90-day plan to expand recycling drop-off sites. And the goal here is to have a location within a mile of every resident. Some say there should be a plan to bring back residential recycling because drop-off sites aren't always accessible.
The city is telling the people of St. Louis that don't have reliable access to transportation or leisure time to load up their car and drive it to the drop-off that they are not a priority, that their access to basic services do not matter.
People who spoke at tonight's meeting proposed the creation of a volunteer public recycling task force to research options and determine a path forward. People in Gravois Park coming together tonight to discuss a potential buyer for a vacant hospital. St. Alexius Hospital closed a couple of years ago. That empty building has attracted crime ever since. A Kansas City businessman now plans to buy that property, but some neighbors are concerned. They say they have very few details about who he is and that he has not offered any opportunities for public input. They hope the building can help fill a healthcare hole.
It would be great if we could restore some type of healthcare or public health access, right? St. Alexius used to be a really great resource for the neighborhood, and we're missing that. That's a real gap we all feel.
The Gravois Park Neighborhood Association will hold a meeting on August 26th, and there, neighbors hope to engage with that new buyer. Tonight, a Park Hills daycare worker is charged in the murder of a 3-year-old boy. A grand jury indicted Tiffany Hedrick today on multiple charges, including second-degree murder. Conrad Ashcraft was found dead under a blanket at the Poppy's Playhouse daycare, and that was back in May. His mother filed a lawsuit claiming Hedrick forced Conrad to sleep by applying weight pressure to his body. Conrad was nonverbal with autism. 2 teens are now charged in the recent murder of a 19-year-old from Melville. Only on 5 on your side, the victim's mother now sharing her grief with our Robert Townsend.
He was a very, very, very big-hearted, loving kid. He would do anything for anybody.
Jennifer Gibbs lights up with joy when she talks about her son, 19-year-old Daniel Douglas.
He never left my home without telling me he loved me. He never left without giving us hugs.
Shortly before 7 on the night of July 25th, Daniel left their home in Melville.
Daniel walked out of the house and he just said, you know, I love you, Mom. Thank you.
She had no idea that would be the last time she saw her son alive. St. Louis County Police responded to a shooting call along Union Road near Sweet Gum Drive.
And I was on the phone with my husband, just finished eating, and I heard gunshots. Jumped in my car, and that's when I found my son. That's when I found him on the ground.
Lying in the parking lot at this strip mall, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Jennifer Gibbs is a registered nurse. The frantic mom performed CPR on her son and tried to save him, but sadly, Daniel died at a hospital. Daniel was the oldest of three. He recently graduated from high school and wanted to become an HVAC repairman.
I miss his smile, I miss his voice, and I miss him telling me he loves me. He was coming to meet acquaintances. I am still very unsure of the exact motive of why, but he knew these boys.
Prosecutors have charged the two boys, just 16 and 17 years old, with second-degree murder and armed criminal action.
I know that they've been to my home and picked my boys up and, taken them to the store and stuff like that, but I have never physically met them. It's very sad that they are 16 and 17 years old.
That from a heartbroken mom, still shedding tears for her son.
What they've done to me and my family has destroyed us, and we will fight until justice is served.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
New tonight, a 70-year-old man was shot to death in North County this afternoon. This happened on Wagner Avenue just after 1 o'clock. Officers found that man with a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Police arrested someone, but they haven't released details about that suspect. Tonight, the Francis Howell School District is out thousands of dollars from a national search to find a superintendent that never worked a day. Dr. Mike Dominguez resigned and got a separation agreement for $230,000. The district paid $30,000 just to find him. Well, this week, the school board president shared a message, in part saying they will not fill 2 key positions to save money.
I think anytime you see $250,000 being spent by a school district that we didn't expect and that wasn't budgeted, everyone should be concerned. So there's absolutely cause for concern here. We can't just move on.
Dominguez was hired for a role in Oklahoma just 4 days after his resignation here. The state superintendent of Oklahoma shared on social media it is now investigating that hire. A consumer alert on the summer's hottest toy. Tonight we verify if you're buying a bogus Labubu. Claims of festival fraud in the Metro East.
You don't expect that from a small community like this.
The investigation launched after vendors told police they're owed thousands of dollars.
A large part of the area under a heat advisory all weekend, putting us in a weather impact alert when we may see a break in the heat and humidity and when we could see some more storms.
Tonight, nearly a dozen vendors in the Metro East are seeing red, claiming the organizer of the Red, White, and Blue in the Lou event never paid them. Others say the checks bounced, leaving them out thousands of dollars. The inaugural 4th of July celebration was held at the Monroe County Fairgrounds in Waterloo. 2 local nonprofits were also promised a portion of the proceeds, but say they haven't seen a penny.
It wasn't good. And it was even more when you start hearing all the other stories of people she owed. And other people that put sponsorships in that just, those disappeared.
Waterloo police are investigating. We've tried several times to contact the organizer, but haven't heard back yet. Scammers are seizing on the Labubu trend. The little monster dolls are one of the summer's hottest toys. Tonight, the Verify team helping parents spot if you're buying a fake. Here's Megan Bragg.
Labubus, they're the hot new thing, taking over the internet. But the Better Business Bureau says they've gotten over 70 reports of counterfeit Labubus, also known as Lafufu. So can you spot the difference? I'm going to ask some of my coworkers if they can.
This seems kind of like a cheap knockoff.
Real.
This one's real and this one's fake. The real one is this one.
If you've never seen one, it may be hard to spot the difference. To understand what makes them real or fake, we went to Pop Mart, the official maker of Labubus, and the Charlotte Better Business Bureau. Looking at Pop Mart's website, these guys can range anywhere from $200 to about $30. The Charlotte Better Business Bureau states stay away from deals that seem too good to be true. and buy from reputable sites. Sites that are on social media may not be legit, so check their website and pay close attention to reviews.
Type scam behind the company name, type customer reviews. What are other people saying? What have their experiences been like?
So how can you spot the difference? Pop Mart shows the real Labubu has 9 sharp teeth and the Pop Mart logo is on the left foot. The newer version also has a UV detectable stamp on the right foot. To spot a Lafufu, check the number of the teeth they have and the logo. They either don't have the Pop Mart logo or it's poorly written, missing, or the wrong color.
So if you haven't already guessed, this is the Lafufu, and this is the Labubu. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
What can we verify for you? Send us an email to verify@ksdk.com. Well, tonight kicked off the first night of Baldwin Days. The community festival at Falesas Park is 4 days of family-friendly entertainment and all of the activities. Live music, carnival rides, games, and of course, all of the classic carnival cuisine. There will be fireworks tomorrow night and Saturday night. Meteorologist Jim Castillo joining us now with that weather impact forecast. You know what? We want to get right to that alert and what we need to keep in mind this weekend.
Well, just make sure you take plenty of breaks when you get out in the sunshine. If you don't have the pool, which a lot of the pools are still open, then get in the AC, stay in the AC this weekend, and stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, because if you go out and about in this heat, you can get heat illness really quickly in a very short period of time. Even the overnight lows are going to be really, really warm again, near 80 in St. Louis. So right now in St. Louis, it is in the 80s, and there's the Arch, 82 degrees. We have that feels like temperature, or the heat index, of 86. So the heat island effect, is all the concrete around St. Louis holds up that temperature, and that's why the city is definitely warmer at night than the outlying areas. So the heat advisory, not just for the metro. We'll see if it expands even further, but we have it all in western Missouri, Kansas City to Omaha, Springfield, all the way down into New Orleans. So in our area, it includes the metro plus Franklin County and St. Genevieve County in Missouri, then Randolph, Washington, Clinton counties in Illinois. And not just that, but of course the Metro East. So that goes all the way till Monday. It might be extended into Tuesday, because it still looks really hot Tuesday. And the departure from average looks like 7 degrees above average on Friday and about 8 degrees above average on Saturday and Sunday. So close to 100, but probably mid and upper 90s. We have not hit 100 yet this summer, but we've gotten close for sure. So it's an upcoming heat wave. It's 4 days, maybe 5 now, of the heat index of 99 to 107, and those overnight lows about 69 to 71 outside of St. Louis, mid 70s at least for tonight in the city, but closer to 80 for this weekend. So we have a front that's weakening over the area with that huge area of high pressure, and the upper levels of the atmosphere causes that sinking air and really hampers not much in the way of rain expected over the next few days. But today we had a couple of spotty showers out there, and wouldn't be surprised if we see that as we head into tomorrow and maybe even on Saturday. But the heat index tomorrow, not as bad as what it's going to be, up to 102 tomorrow. But as we get into Saturday and Sunday, that heat index as high as 107, and likely we're going to continue that into Monday and Tuesday. All right, so there we go. It looks mainly dry until we get to Tuesday night and Wednesday. I'd say Tuesday night and Wednesday, a better chance of seeing some storms around here.
Yeah, and although it felt like 100 degrees this summer, we haven't actually reached 100.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah.
We'll see if we actually do, but right now we're not predicting that.
All right, well, let's not either. Thank you, my
Yeah.
friend. We've got Frank standing by with sports.
Well, we have a special story tonight about a young basketball player who's hotter than Taylor Swift, and he did it with hard work. We'll be right back. The Yankees and the Cardinals have won the most world championships. Remember this grand slam by Ken Boyer in Game 4 of the 1964 World Series? We need a few more this weekend at Busch. It's a 3-game series. St. Louis and Max Scherzer with a solid outing for the Jays today. David Snyder helps it out with a great catch. 1 run in 7 innings for Max. He was trailing the Cubs until Vladimir Guerrero made him a winner in the 7th. Jays win this one, the final, 2-1.
This 5 on Your Side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
City SC and Edu Leuven will be in Chicago on Saturday to face the Fire, and they're coming off a big win. Leuven has only started 8 games. His wife is battling cancer, and he's had to take care of her. I asked the coach about his approach.
I'll do anything for him right now in this environment. So take away his qualities on the field and what he gives this team. The most important thing for me is what he gives the culture inside these walls here as a human being. And look, he comes in every day with his head held high. He comes in every single day with a great work ethic. With everything going on in his life as well, that is just a quality and a human being that I just adore seeing.
SLU women's soccer opened up the season at Kansas City tonight. Lucy Schwartz from Viz will get the head ball for the goal. SLU wins 4-0. Let's head to the City of Champions. See if you can read and add quickly. That's 11 state titles for East St. Louis. Head coach Darren Sunkett could be looking for a 12th this year. The Flyers are locked and loaded. How about this? They have 3 wide receivers who will be playing Division I football next season. And then check out this young man, Myson Johnson Cook, 6'2", 220. He's a running back. He transferred in, and he already has 49 college offers.
He just brings that speed that you can't teach to the game. You know, you're talking about a kid who runs a 10-300, and you can't coach 10-3. You know, that's all natural. So it's our job, you know, to you get a hat on some people up front. And let Myson, and not just Myson, we've got 2 other great backs, and let those guys go to work.
The guy behind me has done nothing but work his entire basketball career. And Quentin Coleman is reaping the dividends now. With the help of photographer Randy Schwenkert, we give you the story. Inside this facility at Principia High School, located in Town and Country, is one of our town's most dynamic basketball players. Quentin Coleman can fill it up.
Q shoots it better than anybody I've ever coached. I mean, his shot, you know, coaches are, one more. And when it comes to him, I'm like, let's shoot it, because he's really good at it.
The 6'4" rising senior had a dream season for Principia. They won a state title going 31-1. He averaged 19 points and almost 7 rebounds and shot an incredible 46% from three-point land. The self-imposed hours in the gym may be a grind for some. It's a pleasure for Quentin.
This is what I love to do, and she can't say no to things that I want to do. So I feel like having to do this it's not a have. I want to do this. I get to do this. So I feel like that's my mindset with this.
This summer, Coleman blew up. Playing in a national tournament for the Bradley Beal elite team, Quentin had 3 games in the 20s. And just like that, colleges started calling. He's now up to 20 offers. Tony Irons, his coach, gave him instructions.
Yeah, Q, check your phone. I'm like, I check my phone, and I see all the coaches texting me and calling me. I'm like, man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing for sure.
Meanwhile, his Principia coach, Jay Blossom, was hearing from these coaches too.
Coach, we love your dude. Coach, we got to get involved. We want him. There was coaches who stuck around extra days at Peach Jam just because they couldn't believe how good he was. They were waiting to see something maybe that they had missed, and every day just got better.
Just like Quentin has done his entire career. Keep in mind, he was cut 3 straight years from that Bradley Beal elite program, but he kept working and working. How do you think that helps you now?
Man, just to always have the chip on your shoulder. For me, I was always the underdog. I feel like I still am the underdog. I feel like just having that chip on my shoulder and growing up, not the best player, always showed me there's still more work to do. There's still more work to do. Getting cut, okay, I see what I need to do now. More work to do.
Quentin Coleman, another success story in St. Louis. And the guy who Quentin played for this summer, NBA star Bradley Beal, will be part of a star-studded Sports Plus. We also sit down Eli Drinkwitz and Ali Marmol. Sports Plus is where the stars come, 10:30 on Sunday night. And that'll do in sports.
Yeah, something about that Quentin guy. When you fall, you got to get back up, and then you can be better.
Great story of perseverance. No doubt
love
about
it. Thank you, Frank, for that. Well, my friends, it's pretty hard to think about fall and the heat, but it is creeping up, and one farm is getting ready with some spooky upgrades. Well, the popular a cappella group Pentatonics is coming to St. Louis this fall. They announced their Christmas in the City tour. The 3-time Grammy-winning group will be in town on November 23rd. They'll perform at Enterprise. Tickets will be available starting August 22nd. Well, a new fall attraction is coming to Eckert's Farm. The farm in Belleville announcing the Jack's Lighted Trail. Opening September 13th, the walkable trail features illuminated displays and seasonal treats. Tickets cost $20 to $30, but there will be a $10 flash sale on September 8th. So mark your calendar if you're interested. Jim, what you got for us, my friend?
All right, I'm hearing that maybe this guy over here is going to be golfing on Saturday.
Yeah, well, actually Friday, so it's all
okay, Friday.
Less than 105, right?
Yes, less than 105, which is great. So the heat index tomorrow, not as bad as it's going to be Saturday, about 102 tomorrow, but I want you to take plenty of breaks and hydrate out there as you get into that heat and stay in the shade if you can. Saturday about 97, but it feels like 107 at its height, and then Sunday 98, Monday 98, and again 107 could be that top heat index.
We'll keep it in mind. Frank, I'll take you for a few lessons, all right?
Let's do it.
Before you hit it. That's all of our time at 10, my friends. We're always available on the 5+ streaming app. Start your day with Today in St. Louis at 5 in the morning. We'll see you tomorrow night.